Hello everybody, Tony here, and welcome to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews. And those of you all know, I love fighting games. They're one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And I grew up with fighting games mainly like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Soul Blade, and more. And around the time of the launch of the PlayStation 1, we had the first fighting game ever on the console, Battle Arena Toshinden, which was a decent fighting game series, but it pretty much became obsolete when games like Tekken and Virtua Fighter and stuff came out. And I'm not talking about I'm not gonna be talking about Battle Arena Toshinden, because truth is that is a good series and stuff like that, and especially the second one. But I'll get to that series sometime in the future. But however, on November 29th, 1995. Around like not even a month after Tekken came out, and 2 months after Battle Arena Toshinden came out, we were introduced to one of the worst fighting games ever, Criticom. And this game was also released on the Sega Saturn, which I heard is even worse than this version. So I'm going to be looking at this game and Criticom. Yeah, say those of you who don't own this game, be glad you don't, because let's get started here. And as we get started here, we are treated to this cutscene that talks about like an alien species, where I didn't really pay attention to the story here because it was so hard to pay attention to because of that annoying voice acting and stuff like that, where it's like where the voice actor or actress, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, trying to sound like all creepy like an alien, stuff like that, and just doesn't really work well in the end. I mean, I've seen bad voice acting, but this really takes the cake here. It's like they're not even trying here. And I don't know, right now the cutscene does look okay inside. I mean, the cutscene looks okay, but it's like you can't really judge a game based on its graphics. And then when we get started here, we only have 2 modes here, Tournament and Versus, which I'm not gonna really complain, because the original Tekken only had 2 modes and stuff, which were 1-player and 2-player battles, so I can't really say anything there. But then when we get started here, we are treated to these misfit characters here, like or that's what Jedi once in his review, misfit reject-like characters who look like they belong in other video games and stuff like that, and they look like characters who belong in like cartoons, like Saturday morning cartoons that flop badly. And we have characters like Delara, Sid, whatever you call it, Demonica, and like, I don't know, it's like a diverse cast of like only like 8 characters, and none of them are interesting. I'm just gonna pick Delara here just to start off with, and then tell you a little story about her and such, and then we get into the game here, and then we can see this game looks like shit. I mean, really. This is the best they could do for a game released in 1995. Tekken came out before this, and so did Battle Arena Toshinden, and those games look 10 times better. And as you can see here, that I am pretty much losing here, getting my ass kicked. That's because the main problem with this game is that the opponent AI just pretty much likes to whoop your ass immediately without giving you a chance at all. You can actually defeat your opponents, but only do in 2 ways. 1, if they ring out, or 2, you stay alive until the clock runs out with more health than them. And it's just stupid, because if you try to attack them, they block almost all your attacks, and they won't even give you a chance at all. And even when they do, your attacks don't even take much health away. Even the special attacks and stuff don't even do that much damage either. And then, well, like you see them doing this one special move here, because it's pretty much the most powerful move that Delara has here against, and like Gorm, just like you see Gorm here just keeps blocking away and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's just. Ultimately, the game isn't really that much fun at all. I mean, like, you have to like beat all the characters and stuff like that. They're all picked at random and such, and like as you can see here, that like he's kicking my ass, because like you see a little orange circle. That means you only have 1 more life left. And of course, I didn't die here, but he's gonna win because he has more health than me. And here's another problem too I have with the game. You can be winning, but then all of a sudden the opponent will do a move and knock you out of the ring, making you start all over from scratch. It literally took me about like I don't know how many times, like 4 or 5 times, to defeat Dorm here before I can move on to the next battle. And then when we get to the next battle here, we're fighting this Azine girl on this like little space planet here, and she just keeps abusing the same move over and over again. I mean, I understand Tekken's difficulty could have been a little unfair at times, but at least there was nothing preventing you from getting past your opponent and having you to replay it over and over. There were ways around it. Here you don't really have ways. Basically, aside from like doing that, all you have to do is mash buttons and stuff to take enough of your opponent's health away and stuff to win. I mean, that's just retarded. And of course, like, you get knocked out of the ring, you do the stupid winning pose with the bland voice acting, which I'm not really going to talk about much and stuff. And one weird thing is that whenever you're facing your opponent wears their alternate costume for some reason. Now, I don't know why that is, why they're wearing their alternate color costume, which it just seems like a little nitpick there, which just seems a little weird. And it's like, yeah, they keep blocking my attacks, just like dude, it's not really doing anything, just blocking my attacks. And you're probably wondering, what happens at the end when you beat this game? Well, you get a power up for your character, and then you get to do it all over again, and that's basically it. And I tried playing it again because I wanted to see what happens, but the opponent AI is even tougher when your character levels up to level 2. So you're pretty much doing all that just so you can get your ass whooped even more. That's just bullshit. It's bullshit with a capital BULLSHIT, bullshit. And I mean, look at this. This is just absurd. This is crazy. I mean, what fighting game does this where they don't even give you a chance to attack at all? I mean, I shouldn't have to keep spamming the same attack over and over again. I shouldn't have to keep jumping around until the clock runs out. I shouldn't have to try and get my character out of the ring. I should be able to defeat my character normally, like in other fighting games and stuff. And I already mentioned how bad this game looks to start that, and how bad it plays. The sound isn't really that much better because the music is just so forgettable. It's not even worth talking about. And the sound of your character attacking your opponent with the weapon sounds terrible. Like Delara's sword sounds like a plastic toy sword, which is actually kind of funny in the end. And yet, I didn't even, like I said, like, you fight 8 characters and just yada yada yada. It's the same thing over and over, and just it literally took me an hour to beat this for the first time. After that, I was done. I tried playing more, and just there wasn't really much else to do except for the fact that you play this game one time, you're done. And this is an insult to fighting game fans here. People who enjoy games like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and Virtua Fighter, and Battlemaster Toshinden, and stuff like that. This is a disgrace. And any fighting game fan would be ashamed to have this in their collection, I'm sure. I mean, I still have it in my collection because, like, I like to collect a lot. I mean, I'm a PS1 game collector. I like to collect a lot of PS1 games, especially the ones in the long boxes, which I did have 60 of them, now down to 58 because I sold a couple of them because I didn't like them anymore. I kept this one around because, like, it wouldn't be worth anything and stuff like that. Space Griffin VF9 and High Octane were worth some money, so I sold those. And play them anymore, and because the hinge on my plastic case of Space Griffin VF9 was broken. I don't like having broken cases in my collection. Just had to go off topic there, but there really isn't much else to say about this game. It's just broken, pathetic. It's unplayable. I did mention earlier that there was a Sega Saturn version released 2 years later in 1997. And I heard that version is even worse. And I don't even know how worse it is, except from the controls and stuff and such. So I really don't know because I don't own a Sega Saturn. But I know from what Jedi1 showed in his review, he was reviewing the Sega Saturn version, that it looked worse and it looked like it controlled worse too. So yeah, I think I should be thankful that I got the better version, but I'm not thankful at the same time because the game still looks like shit and still plays like shit. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. So what's my final rating? My final rating on this is just avoid this game. Avoid it. There are better fighting games to play. You're better if you own a PS1 and it's like that. There are better fighting games from 1995 around the launch date of the PS1 you can play, like Tekken, Mortal Kombat 3, Battle Arena, Toshinden, and stuff like that. I mean, what do I give? What do I give this game? This game, I'm not gonna give it a number rating. No, I'm not gonna give it a number rating because it doesn't even deserve a number rating. You know when I give it, I give Criticom a totally abysmal out of 10. I mean, there's no other way there's no other words to describe it. And you're probably wondering, am I going to destroy this game? The answer is no, because this is a game that is worth keeping in your collection, because one, it's a long box game and stuff like that, and it's to show a perfect example on how to not make a fighting game. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony, aka TTBurger88. Peace out and have a great day.